Okay, I'd like to tell you about my experiences learning French in Paris and learning French with Nicolas. So for the first 4 weeks I was in Paris, I signed up to a famous language school in Paris, but I had some problems there to begin with. The classes were too big, so as a result I didn't get to do enough speaking, and quite often the students and teachers weren't particularly motivated, so I found I wasn't learning French as quickly as I wanted to. And I was paying a lot of money, so I was a little bit worried. So I looked on the internet and I started taking 1 hour a day with Nicolas each afternoon after the class, and I was finding I was learning a lot more with the one-on-one courses. So after 1 week, I quit after 1 week of having class with Nicolas, I quit the school and I started taking really full-time lessons with him. So that was 4 hours a day for 5 days a week. And I've now done that for 6 or 7 weeks, and this is my last day in Paris. So I'm just going to explain how I got on. So first of all, I want to recommend Nicolas because he's a very good teacher. His classes are interesting and they're also fun. He's quite an interesting person, so it means the class stimulates quite a lot of conversation. He's also reliable. He's also in a very good location. Notre Dame is just there, really just there. He's just in front of Notre Dame, and which means Saint-Michel, Metro Station, Tube Station is all about 5 seconds walk from here. So it's an excellent location, so you can easily get here from the outskirts of Paris or wherever you are in Paris. He's also got excellent English, which is handy when sometimes he's been explaining some of the more finer points in French to me, or we've had some problems. That's been beneficial. He's also got very reasonable rates, and he's also got an online facility now where you can actually have a lesson from your home country via Skype or MSN or something. So with Nicolas, what I've learned is basically when I started I knew the present, past and future tenses, but this has really been reinforced with our classes together. We've also done a lot with conditional, subjunctive, relative pronouns, lots of vocab, but the vocab I've been learning hasn't been given to me on a piece of paper. It's been vocab that's been stimulated while having conversations in the class, which I think is probably a bit better because it means it's more likely to stick in my head rather than just getting a list of words and trying to remember them. Also, we've had lots of. He's taught me lots of little phrases and mannerisms which make my French more natural. And more useful in everyday life. Also, the classes are interesting because we do a lot of speaking about French culture and French life, and also in particular Paris life. And he's also a good source of information for if you need information in museums or So basically, you're not lost in the city. So in particular, I've improved. I think I've improved my speaking while I've been in his courses. My speaking, because the courses are dominated by speaking, it's all speaking, which was what I wanted, so that's really improved a lot. I found in the big school with 8, 10, 14 people in a class, I could speak for a couple of minutes every hour of the class, where here I'm speaking for 30, 40, 50 minutes of the class, so it's a real... I'm really learning a lot quicker than I was. So in particular, I think during the classes I've really improved my speaking because in the class we're speaking all the time. The class is based on speaking. I found when I was in the big language school, there was like 8, 10 or 14 people in the class, and I was finding I might only be speaking for a couple of minutes every hour. In the class was a lot of people there, and sometimes there's people that are stronger than you who tend to dominate the conversation. But what I found here is that I've been speaking for maybe 30, 40, 50 minutes per hour, so I'm speaking a lot more, so it's a lot more practice for me. I'm also surprised that my writing's improved significantly here. Although we actually really write in the class, every day I do a little bit of writing for homework. I take it in, and he actually marks it in front of me, which makes things better for me because I'm actually understanding more where I'm making errors. Where I found it at the big language school, I would write something, I would hand it in, it would come back to me the next day with lots of red ink, and I wouldn't learn so much. Sometimes we do write in class. There's an extra keyboard that we can be hooked up and things to. The other thing that I've improved a lot is pronunciation, just with the one-on-one attention. The focus has obviously allowed my pronunciation to be improved. Also, I've prepared with the help of Nicola for the DELF B1 exam and also the TCF exam. I've sat both, so he's got experience in what's required for those and in preparing students for those. So that's been worthwhile. But Nicola's method, as I said, it's all speaking nearly in the class. So which is great for me because it means in the class I wasn't really wasting time reading or writing, which are things I can actually do in the house myself. So every day in class it was dominated by speaking, but then for homework I would write and I would read, so I was covering all bases. Nicola's method, as I said, with me he's been concentrating on speaking because that's what I want. For me that's been good because that means we haven't really, I felt, wasted too much time. For example, in the kind of larger school I was at, we'd spend time reading things, writing things, but that's things I can do at home in my own time. With a one-on-one teacher, I was wanting to do the speaking, but he's also very flexible, and he can kind of really turn the classes into what you want, so you can concentrate on grammar. Or he's got a lot of education. He's got degrees in art, business, linguistics, so he can kind of talk about many subjects. So for me, I was concentrating on speaking in the class, and then for homework, I was doing the reading and writing to cover all bases during the course. But the classes had a lot of variety. Most classes. We tend to have a bit of a theme, but each class was individual because whatever I was wanting to speak about or he was wanting to speak about, we tend to go down there, and the class isn't preset to kind of find your own way in what you want to learn about and what you want to speak about. So Nicola uses a computer to do this. So basically, we're both sitting, on comfortable chairs, and in between us is a large television screen, and he's got a laptop. So as we're speaking, he's making notes on vocab, maybe errors and mistakes or examples, and then at the end of the class, he prints off the notes from the class and he emails them to me as well. So that means I've got a record which I can revise from, and it means every single class is individual and can be tailored to whatever anybody wants.